Hello, Transformers fans. This is Trans72 coming at you with another Transformers review. And tonight we're going to be reviewing Transformers Power Core Combinners Mudslinger and The Destructicons. I'm also going to be reviewing Smolder because Smolder works very well with these drones. So let's look at the boxed packaged version first. Here we have Mudslinger and his 4 drones. One thing about these Power Core Combinners that I've noticed over the time now is the picture makes them look a lot better than they actually are. They, for some reason or other, it gives the idea that this is really awesome when in fact it's not. And there's problems with a couple of, well, at least with this drone right here. So anyway, that's Mudslinger, and there's his little bio and his little stats there. Don't get me wrong, I really like the Power Core Combiners. I like all the Transformers, but there are just certain ones that don't work well. And my very first one was I think it was Skydive and the Aerial Bots or something like that. That was the only one I got, but I've recently picked up some more. So anyway, let's turn this around, and for those of you that want a better idea of how it looks, we can go like that. And let's start with the basics here. Vehicle mode. Mudslinger is basically a monster truck. And the transformation the first time around is really for a little one, or for a scout class, which is essentially what he is. It's kind of difficult. I had some real trouble with it at first. So yeah, he's a monster truck, and he's got these little all-spark or Power Core Combiner little blue parts which stick out like sore thumbs on these figures. It would have been better if they could have been maybe removable or a different color on different ones. And there's a very bad quality control here. As you can see with this particular Mudslinger is why I bought another one. This is like literally hanging by a thread here. And I've tried to glue it and it just won't hold. So I don't even combine these guys with Mudslinger. I combine them with another Transformer, which I think is a lot better Transformer in general all the way around. But we'll get to him later. Alright, so let's look at the drones. We have this drone right here. This is a heavy hauler drone, and he's kind of cool. He's got this little hook thing going on. He also has the Minicon port right here, and I happen to have a Minicon over here. And his name is Chopster. We'll be talking more about him later, but you can stick Chopster on there. He looks pretty cool on that vehicle. We'll show him on the other vehicles too. And he has this like missile rack thing here. And for those of you that don't know, these do not transform into robots. They're just drones. They're vehicles that transform into parts, like arms and legs and so forth. Okay, and there's another one here. And this one is, I think this is the one that gives me the most trouble. Armored Junker Drone. And Smolder will fit right here. And I think Smolder looks good on all these characters, personally. He just, I don't know, with the way he looks. And, yeah, so that's that one. And this is the one when we'll get into that later when I show the combo mode. Okay, and here is the Dune Buggy guy, and his name is Dune Buggy Drone, as a matter of fact. They didn't come up with real great names for these characters. And then, of course, Smolder will peg in Dune Buggy, too. And probably my favorite drone in this package is this drone right here. And this is the Armored Truck Drone. And I'm telling you, this little Minicon fitting on top of this guy, I think it looks fantastic. It really does. And when we get Smolder out here, I think they go well together. It could be a sidekick. But they, you know, he looks really good on there. Okay, Chopster, we'll talk about you in a little bit. Okay, let's transform Mudslinger first. With Mudslinger, first thing I always do with him is I do the arms first. Got to move these port things up like this, like that. And then the next thing I always do is I kind of come along here and kind of pull this up, push this like this, lock that into place, and take this one, push it up and lock it into place. Next thing I do is I work on the legs here. Basically how you want to do the legs is you want to kind of start by kind of separating them right here, taking this leg here, pulling it out like this, and do the same thing here by unpegging and pulling out. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to take these, or we're going to move these legs and turn them around just like that. Sorry if I went off camera there for a minute. Okay, now we're going to take the robot, form its feet like this. Okay, I'm going to take this piece here, fold down, fold up, and you're going to want to tab this piece into this piece. And then with the arms, take them back, take this down, take this back, and these are his arms and fists. And then for the epic head reveal, his head is where the motor is. Okay, so this is Mudslinger. There's really not much to him. He has very, very limited articulation. I think he has swivel arm joints here. They don't really do much. Very little. There's the head will turn 360. The legs are a little bit more posable, and he has these neat little. The feet have these little supporters here, so you can kind of put him in some kind of cool poses, you know, whereas otherwise he wouldn't maybe pose so well, you know, like that. Anyway, I'm not going to do his combine mode because he's broken because of the part, but I will show you his head and what his head would look like when he's in his other mode like this. It's kind of like that's his head mode for when he's in his combined state, so to speak. And actually, it looks like this when all is said and done. And then these things kind of poke out like this, and you would attach the arms and the, you know, legs. I'll get it in the mode. What the hell? Why not? Okay. Just a real, not a very good combiner mode. And then these, I know these kind of fold back like this. And it sucks, basically, to put it mildly. But anyway, the heck with that. Now, the true combiner, the one that really looks nice with these drones, is Smolder. and this is his Minicon Chopster. And Smolder is sold separately in a separate package with Chopster. But I mean, look at these. Look at how these match with Smolder. They look like they were meant to go with him. This thing here, you know, I mean, it's green and blue. It has no, I don't know, it doesn't look like it belongs with any of these drones. So I keep him separate from this set, and I keep this particular Smolder with this group of stuff. So anyway, let me just get this guy back in a robot mode. We can have a little display going on here. But I definitely would recommend picking up the set, basically only because of for the drones. But I know there are some completists out there. I'm kind of a completist myself, so I know the urge to buy or have all the different figures is there. But if you're not a completist and you can live without this, I say, you know, don't worry. Or I wouldn't rush out to buy it. Maybe if you could get it on clearance, you know, at like I don't know, Marshalls or something like that, or maybe Ross if you live out in the East Coast. Okay, so we're going to put Mudslinger right there. Okay. All right, and now back to this guy. Here's Chopster, and this is his little Minicon, Smolder and Chopster. Anyway, to transform him into a robot, it's pretty easy. You just lift this up, pull this like this like this, and this up like this. And he's a pretty cute little robot. He's got these barrels, these gun barrels for arms, and he's like got one robot eye and one little like microscope eye. So he's kind of cool just on his own. I dig him just by himself. And we'll put him off to the side. This isn't really a Smolder review, so I'm not going to really get into all the transformations with Smolder. I'll do it later. I am going to show his combined mode, though. So we're going to pretend that Smolder is Mudslinger. Okay. Anyway, here's what we're going to do. Take this like this. Turn these like this. Pull these ports out just like this. And we're going to take the arms back here. And these kind of snap out, and this snaps in. And then this tab here is going to tab right into this tab here. I don't know, the lighting's bad in here, guys. I'm sorry for the poor lighting, but it's just the way it is. And the same thing with this. This comes out, and this tabs into the same spot. And this tabs in kind of the same way. Yep, there it goes. Makes the same noise and everything. Okay, now we're going to do the legs. I'm going to take these pegs out here, just like that. Turn this like this. This. And kind of put them just like this. Okay. And then we got to switch his head too. These big new head reveal. I love both head schemes on head things on this guy. It's really awesome. Look at that. Fantastic light piping too. Okay, so we're going to take the first drone. I always like to do the legs first. This is the drone here that gives me the hardest time, so I think we'll work with him first. What's supposed to happen is when you put this in this hole here, is supposed to automatically transform. And they're real bugger to get in there to begin with. And this one just does not transform on its own. So you kind of have to give it a little bit of a tug on its own. This guy's a little easier. Again, supposed to auto morph or auto change, and I think this one does. Yeah, see, that one works pretty good for the most part. Okay. Then we have the next guy. I always do this guy next. Tab him into this spot here. And then this drone here, he tabs right in here. And, you know, oh, this thing comes undone. A lot these tabs, you don't have to tab these back here. You can just kind of lay them back here. But I think it's better if you tab them in. It's a little more strength to it. Anyway, this is Smolder, or Smolder's combined mode. And I gotta tell you, this is a hell of a lot better of a combined mode than the other one. I mean, just look at the difference. I mean, look at this guy, you know. Oh. And then the thing with Chopster here is he can become several things. And there's really no particular better way or good way to do this. It's just a matter of what you think is cool, you know. But I kind of like this. I like to put it like this. There's a little port here. And Smolder has a little port, and then this little guy here, Chopster, can kind of go on here, and he forms kind of like a shield, sort of like that. I mean, there's other ways you can do it, and you can turn these up like this, and he's got chest guns, and then this thing can come up too and be a laser. Anyway, that is the combined Destructicons with, instead of Mudslinger, Smolder. And I think he's awesome. I think it looks fantastic. Trying to get this thing in a little better of a pose. Here we go. So that's that. I will be reviewing Smolder along with other Power Core Combinners at a different time, and you'll get the full thing with him. But I'm using him with this particular review because he fits well. So this is Trans72 signing off.